Écoutez, bonsoir à toutes et à tous.
So, good afternoon to all of you. I can't say that it's easier to introduce her than it is to conclude. It was a dense day, but I've tried to summarize most of what was said today, because one of the objectives of an exercise like this is to hear not only those who presented Agrimonde-Terra's project, but also to hear your reactions and to adjust my conclusion according to what was said. So, about perspective, I would like to quote Edgar Pisani, who died this week and who was a Minister of Agriculture interested in research, and he said that he will think to the distant future if policy as a night watcher in the night does not propose a future. So the watch, this idea of a night watch that Edgar Pisani proposes is that to enlighten people and nations in order to highlight the possible avenues for the future in all their complexity. I think we've looked at many possible pathways, and there was a lot of complexity. So this foresight exercise was presented to you at global and also regional level, and this follows a previous work we had done called Agrimonde for Cirad and INRA and those who supported us, various committees and work groups who worked along with us. This prospective exercise was an opportunity for Cirad and INRA to continue cooperation on this crucial question, food and nutritional security. I think these two elements are very important. So to continue our cooperation on how our planet and different regions in the world will be able to face the joint objectives of sufficient healthy food and meeting the other societal effects. I've heard, this issue that we need to separate food and nutrition, but I think we want to link them. If we do not link them, then there's a risk that we might make massive mistakes. So the other was to think about the two dimensions of food safety with nutritional aspects, agricultural or farming aspects, and environmental aspects. We're going a little further than previously, but maybe not as far as we would want to, and by combining different scales, global, regional, and to a lesser extent, local. Finally, it was also an opportunity to feed in our debate and our work. We have another program that we worked on in the past 2 days in Ras-Ira called Grow Food Towards Global Food Security. That program actually includes 26 projects. So what you have seen today is not at all everything we're doing. That's only one thing we're doing in the specific foresight exercise that you were presented. We have a whole portfolio of projects on food safety. They were discussed in a conference in the past 2 days. A few things in addition to Agrimonde. So the approach was the same as Agrimonde in a way, but we have used different, much larger array of scenarios that are deliberately very, very different from each other. So that was one of the differences. And second, we tried to map these scenarios along with quantitative simulation. The simulations are still simple, but they aim at testing the consequences and the credibility of these scenarios and to make sure that they are possible and if they are sustainable. And some appeared as not sustainable and not desirable. Agrimonde-Terra covers a higher diversity of scenario than Agrimonde did. And as you see, two scenarios are extreme and there are three disruption scenarios with alternative avenues. Then there's a more explicit use of the hypothesis without so land access, right to farm. Well, this was not completely taken on board, but partly, and then integrating new dimensions. Agrimonde already covered partly diets, but they were dealt with in much more detail, maybe not fish farming as much as we should, and the diversity of possibly available farming technology. As we've seen today, Agrimonde-Terra does not cover all the aspects, not some aspects in land ownership, employment, gender, water resource, biodiversity, and we're not covering all the possible scales, not the micro scale households and so on. They were not really covered by this exercise. Yesterday, in agri-food, some people were talking about that very small scale. That wasn't the purpose of Agrimonde-Terra. The final thing I wanted to say is that Agrimonde-Terra, granted, does not cover all the issues and all the scales, but meets a number of essential needs. It looks at systems with a certain degree of complexity, as Stéphane Parmentier stressed. It provides orders of magnitude at global level with a certain level of disaggregation. We need a broad look, and it also is an opportunity to question data on data, data to researchers, data on public policy, trajectories and pathways that are desirable, and so on. About the output of Agrimonde, the relative optimism of the conclusions of Agrimonde, said it should be feasible. Well, this needs to be seriously adjusted, given what was presented this morning. We clearly need to change the paradigm and tackle the problem seriously, otherwise we're running up against a wall. And this calls for public policy and for vigorous awareness raising. We heard yesterday a colleague from the State University of Michigan who showed us how diets were converging in different regions of the world. No matter what the historic cultures in the different regions. When he showed, for example, in India or South Asia, showed significant change. So this is showing that unless we have strong public policy, the trend scenarios will occur, I'm afraid. So when we look at what was presented this morning, one or two scenarios seem to be more desirable, the healthy and the regionalization scenarios. But we're seeing that these scenarios, even if they're slightly more desirable than the others, are not at all certain to sure to occur. So the conditions to get there are many, and the pathway is not at all guaranteed. So the notion of a healthy diet is not very widely shared across the world, as Mr. Montero showed. There's a need for more research and also a need for public policy. Public policy on a food diet is never easy to do. So there's the types of the modes of culture that we should develop, that was mentioned. And on the other questions, the question of breeding, of livestock breeding, there was a perspective on bioeconomics at European level in the Standing Committee for Agricultural Research. You can see that the question of livestock is central to all these topics. I'm not saying that livestock is something we should move away from, but there are some particular attention points. In some regions, livestock is a lifestyle. It's not just an opportunity to produce food for rich people. It's also a lifestyle that's essential for societies. Another thing that was presented, Chantal Lemoyle mentioned it, is farming technology. You tried to frame it better in this foresight exercise by distinguishing three major types of farming: conventional, agroecology, and sustainable intensification. I can see there's clearly a risk of oversimplification behind those three adjectives. Oversimplification because, as Chantal said a while ago, below that, overall and for the different systems, plant or animal, and in different regions, assumptions were formulated. Yesterday there was the night for agroecology. I wouldn't want you to remember any specific table or line or anything, but this prospective exercise is an invitation to look deeper into these possibilities, because they might have global effects. Of course, you mustn't look in the same way at the different types of inputs, antibiotics, fertilizers, and so on. It requires a lot more finesse. So in the document that we're going to produce, we shouldn't oversimplify things. So the output and the results of this study seem clear to me. Of course, there are many, many options that need to further discussion. We can say that combining objectives: one, to supply enough calories to each, to all people in the planet; second, converging to healthy and well-balanced diets, and doing so without increasing the demands on the environment. Combining all three objectives is a major challenge that we should take up fast in the next decades. That's a conclusion. It's a reminder. It was said many times already, but as I take part in more and more international meetings and conferences, I think we should make this reminder more often.
The ways to reach the challenge are limited. It's going to be tough. There's the question of land rights, nutrition, farming, the environment, and climate. And I agree to what was said earlier. With Agrimonde-Terra, we moved forward because we added the climate to Agrimonde-Terra. But do we fully include the biomass needs to keep climate change below, more global warming below 2 degrees? I'm not sure. So there's more work
Donc cet
in this
ensemble
area.
d'enjeux, ça nécessite clairement
So all
des
of
formes
these
de
issues at
coordination,
stake
alors
require
des coordinations
coordination,
locales, régionales, puis aussi
local,
des coordinations supranationales. Il
supranational.
va y avoir cette année une certaine opportunité. Il y a la COP22 qui va se tenir au
There are
Maroc.
different
Nous
opportunities
savons
this
que
year.
à
There's
Marrakech,
COP22
nos
in
collègues marocains sont
Marrakech
attentifs à ce que la question agricole soit
this
prise en
year,
compte,
and
soit
we know our
traitée. Et donc,
colleagues
je
are
crois qu'il est
paying
important que
close attention
les
to
travaux qui ont été
including agriculture.
présentés aujourd'hui, cette prospective,
And so it's important that the
comme
results
d'autres
of this
travaux qui
foresight
existent par
study,
ailleurs, soit
like
en
other
France, soit dans le
work
monde, puissent
found
être d'une
here
certaine
and
manière
elsewhere in
portés
the
à
world,
connaissance, utilisés,
be
partagés dans cette
used
perspective.
and shared
Alors bien que
in this
l'étendue du travail
perspective.
réalisé soit déjà considérable,
To that
certains d'entre
effect.
vous l'ont pointé, d'autres
Okay,
ont
so
trouvé
a lot of
qu'évidemment,
work's
pas
been
tout ce qui a été fait,
done,
mais
like some of you
certains
said, and others
trouvé
said
qu'il y avait
more
un
should
travail qui avait
be
été réalisé,
done.
je pense même que c'est un travail d'une certaine ampleur, d'une grande ampleur même.
It's a lot
Alors on peut
of
toujours
was
regretter qu'on n'ait
already
pas pu
done,
prendre en compte un certain nombre
but of
d'enjeux
course
qui font actuellement débat,
you could
alors que certains ont
always
été évoqués aujourd'hui, d'autres sont
you can
évoqués dans
add
d'autres instances.
further things that
Moi,
are
je vais en citer
not
quelques-uns.
included that
L'enjeu
are
relatif au
being
perte et
discussed
gaspillage
today.
avait été de
Things
certaine manière
are
presque
like
plus mis en avant dans
waste
Agrimonde qu'il ne
and
l'a été mis
loss.
ici.
That
Et je peux
was
vous dire que, par exemple, quand on
stressed more in
participe aux réunions du
Agrimonde than in
G20
Agrimonde-Terra.
agricole,
And
enfin,
when
c'est
I
dans le cadre des agricultural
took
chief
part
scientists,
in
on parle beaucoup de cette question des pertes et gaspillages.
G22 meetings, the
Et
chief
donc,
scientists
je
speak
crois
a
que
lot
cette question
about
est une
waste.
question importante. Et
It's
même
an
Tom
important
Reardon,
question.
il nous a dit hier que, certes, la
And
FAO l'estimait à 30 à 40%,
FAO
que ce
assesses
chiffre est
it
de
at
façon standard
30
utilisé,
to 40%.
et que lui, quand il fait des enquêtes
But an expert told us
empiriques dans des pays
yesterday that we
particuliers, il
does
peut arriver à des
empirical
chiffres beaucoup plus
surveys.
faibles,
In some
en tout cas
countries,
beaucoup
it's
plus
much
variables.
lower
Et donc on voit bien que cette question est quand même une question
or
importante.
varied.
La deuxième, qui n'a pas été évoquée aujourd'hui,
And the second
mais
thing
qui
we
est très
didn't mention
présente,
today,
notamment dans des cercles européens, c'est
which
celle de
is
ce qu'on
highly
pourrait
present,
appeler
especially
la
in European circles,
bioéconomie,
what
c'est-à-dire
you
la
might
cascade des
call
usages des coproduits issus de la
bioeconomics,
transformation des
the
produits agricoles.
cascade
Il y a quand même
of
toute une série
secondary
de
products
choses qui se font dans ce domaine. Ce
from
n'était pas l'objet
agricultural products.
aujourd'hui de traiter cette question-là.
Of
C'est
course, that wasn't
certainement
the
une question
purpose
importante si on veut
of
penser
the work
l'agriculture et l'alimentation dans un cadre un
of
peu
this
plus large.
work, but it's
Il y a d'autres
good to
facteurs qui ont été
think
évoqués
of it
aujourd'hui,
in a
que j'ai
broader
déjà mentionnés, mais
framework.
que je souhaite
And other
mentionner ici,
things
tels
I
que
already
l'eau,
mentioned,
on en a
like
parlé un tout petit
water.
peu ce
We
matin,
did
la
mention it
biodiversité,
a
à
little bit,
peine, la
biodiversity,
qualité des sols,
a bit,
alors là il y avait
quality
les
of
terres, la
soils,
dégradation,
land.
certains d'entre vous ont dit ce matin qu'il était important de regarder cette question de la forme de dégradation, de la
And
qualité des
we
sols.
have to look
Et
at
puis les facteurs humains et sociaux,
whether
qui sont
the
effectivement des
quality,
facteurs
worsening
essentiels,
quality of
qui
this.
sont pas forcément, qui peuvent être traduits
And
dans les
then
aspects les plus qualitatifs de la prospective, qui
There's
sont beaucoup plus difficiles et peut-être pas nécessaires à traduire dans les
certain
aspects les plus
aspects
quantitatifs de l'exercice qui a
that
été fait,
are
et qui
useful
sont
through the
effectivement des aspects
qualitative
qui sont
side, but not the
essentiels,
quantitative
le
side
travail,
of the
l'accès à
study,
la terre.
like
Dernier enjeu que je voulais mentionner, que j'ai
working
déjà
the
évoqué
land and
en
access to
reparlant du
land,
climat tout à
or
l'heure, c'est
labor and access to
dans ce qui
land.
vous a été présenté ce matin, vous avez vu, vous aviez
This
des
morning,
drivers externes et des
You
drivers
saw
un peu internes.
external and
J'ai
internal
vu que le climat
drivers,
était encore dans
and I
les
said that
drivers un peu plus
climate
externes.
was
Et donc c'est à ce
an
titre-là que je pense
external
qu'on n'a pas encore
driver.
complètement internalisé la
And
question
see, we
climatique.
haven't
C'est aussi à ce titre-là que les
completely
régimes
taken on
alimentaires,
board the
qui apparaissaient
climate
comme des drivers
question.
externes, me paraissent encore un petit
And
peu
also
extérieurs au système
food
considéré. Je pense qu'on a un enjeu finalement
factors.
d'internalisation, et puis on a un enjeu effectivement
It's
de prendre en compte
important
l'ensemble
to
des produits qui sont consommés, et donc
take
notamment les
everything
produits
on
de la mer
board
et de
and
l'aquaculture.
take into account everything
Alors
we
sur les suites
eat,
de ce travail, à la
like,
lumière de ce que nous avions discuté avec Michel Eddy, parce que nous nous
seafood
concertons, comme il l'a dit ce matin,
and
très
aquaculture.
régulièrement, puis à la lumière de ce que vous avez dit, quelles sont les suites qu'on peut espérer
Now,
donner à ce travail? Alors
what
au-delà des
is going
quelques
to be the
perspectives
next
scientifiques là, que
steps?
je viens d'évoquer rapidement,
except
je
for the
voulais
few
évoquer quelques autres points.
scientific
Alors
aspects
un
I
premier message,
mentioned, a few
très
more
interne à la
points.
communauté scientifique,
A
je m'excuse
first
pour les porteurs d'enjeux,
message,
je m'excuse pour ceux qui seraient plutôt
more
les
for the
parties prenantes,
scientific
il faut que ce
communities,
travail soit
sorry to
publié.
others, this needs to
Il y a
be
la matière,
published,
parce que la publication est la condition de la diffusion et de la mise en
because
débat
this is how
dans les instances
it
scientifiques,
can
comme
be
d'ailleurs dans les autres instances.
publicized and
Donc, cette question de la
discussed
publication
in
peut paraître anecdotique
scientific for
pour
and
certains,
other
mais je vois que
places.
par exemple, quand
So
nos
don't
collègues de
think
la Royal
it's
Society
secondary.
ont fait un travail particulier sur la sécurité alimentaire à
When
la fin des années
work
2000,
done
ils
on
ont
food
publié,
security at the end of the year 2000 was published in
c'est à
the
partir de ce
Royal
travail-là qu'ils ont
Society
pu
British
ensuite engager
Journal.
toute une série de débats
Then
avec
they were able. This led
les
to
politiques
discussion
britanniques, et donc
with
il
the
fallait pouvoir asseoir ce
politicians.
qu'ils disaient sur des bases
So
qui soient
they
scientifiques
needed
solides. Donc je crois que c'est
solid
important.
scientific base
Deuxième
for
point qui me paraît
discussion.
important, et vous l'avez évoqué, je crois que c'était
Secondly,
le propos, alors je ne vais pas me risquer à dire le nom
as you
du
mentioned,
dernier intervenant tout à l'heure,
you will
du
not
départ,
try
parce
to
que moi je ne vais pas y
repeat
arriver,
the name of the
donc
last
mais ce
speaker
qu'il a dit. On
from
voit bien
Nepal.
que dans certaines régions du monde, il y
We
aurait un
do
intérêt
see that
à
in some
travailler
regions of the
ensemble
world,
sur ces sujets. Je
we
crois
should
que le
work
message
on
qu'on voulait
these
faire passer, Cirad et Indra,
questions
c'est
together.
que
Our message message
avec les
from
partenaires
Cirad
qui
and
seraient
EMA is
intéressés
that
et dans les
with
régions qui seraient
interested
intéressées,
partners,
notamment en Afrique
interested
subsaharienne,
regions,
notamment en Afrique du Nord, parce
like
Ce sont deux des régions les plus potentiellement fragilisées et pour lesquelles les enjeux sont les plus grands. Nous sommes effectivement disposés soit à poursuivre la conversation qui a été engagée en Tunisie, soit à l'élargir à d'autres pays, soit à approfondir ce qui avait pu être commencé ici ou là. Donc clairement, l'appel du pied qui a été fait tout à l'heure par certains, je crois que nous sommes prêts à y réfléchir. Nous sommes prêts à engager ces discussions-là, à la fois pour améliorer la méthode à certains moments, pour préciser des résultats régionaux, tenir compte de variations plus locales, puis aussi parce que je pense que c'est intéressant pour la recherche à moyen terme, et puis parce que ça sera effectivement intéressant, comme certains d'entre vous nous l'ont dit, pour les acteurs eux-mêmes, puisque vous avez d'ailleurs vu que dans les travaux qui ont été présentés, certaines régions du monde sont particulièrement sensibles aux différents scénarios. Alors, évidemment, l'Afrique subsaharienne que j'évoquais, l'Afrique du Nord et le Moyen-Orient, sur lequel on avait fait une autre étude qui s'appelle Pluriagri, et qui, montrait bien les difficultés particulières qu'il peut y avoir en Afrique du Nord et au Moyen-Orient, mais aussi l'Inde, qui est apparue. Alors, c'était pas l'objet de discuter aujourd'hui, mais on voit clairement qu'il y a quand même quelques enjeux en Asie. Troisième type de sortie, donc premier type de sortie, il faut publier. Deuxième, on est prêt à poursuivre le dialogue avec des régions particulières, en prenant le temps de le faire. Troisième, c'est on a produit un outil quantitatif et des bases de données qui sont quand même pas tout à fait négligeables. Alors, je ne vais pas me prendre pour le commissaire européen à la recherche. I'm not the research commissioner. Et donc clairement, le mandat que nous avons sur cet outil-là,
speaks of open data, research open to the world. But we do want this to be open and shared. There's no reason why this shouldn't be shared with the scientific community at large. That is the mandate, the assignment given by the European Commissioner for Research, as we're told in France. So if we want it to be useful in time, that the investment made by our colleagues be useful, it has to be open.
Ce mot de remerciement, il faut garder en tête que ce type de travaux, je crois que ça a été pointé par certains d'entre vous, est également très dépendant de la qualité des données. Et sur ce point, il y a des efforts qui doivent être faits. Alors, ce ne sont pas forcément dépendants des organismes de recherche.
It's not necessarily up to the research organizations, but pasture and fodder surface area.
J'ai entendu du groupe de travail, je n'ai pas entendu de choses
grassland surface area. I'm sure we could improve that. And the question of animal efficiency
sous différents scénarios techniques.
Or
il y a sans doute aussi des marges de progrès. Et on voit bien, par exemple, de ce que nous a dit tout à l'heure Chantal,
feed-to-output ratio. I'm sure there are things to be done. And even regarding cropping, depending on the type of farming, there's improvements to be made to our knowledge.
Et donc, oui, clairement, on peut faire des progrès en matière de données. Donc, les suites qu'on peut donner à travers de ce type sont effectivement de nature assez différentes.
So there are different things we can do. Publish, share the tools, share the data, discuss things with stakeholders further,
avec les acteurs directement concernés, et puis amélioration des données.
And improve
Alors,
the data.
En termes de remerciements, je voudrais pour les introduire dire que de la même manière que les agriculteurs ne sont pas les seuls responsables de la sécurité alimentaire.
Are not alone responsible for food security, as was clearly said by Jean-François. Researchers are not the only ones in charge of this topic, even when dealing with a foresight study. Our responsibility is a bit different. It's about sharing our output and discussing it, opening up to discussion. Even though the work isn't completely done, some things need to be fine-tuned, published. The purpose of today was to present the initial output, discuss it, hear your comments beyond the key contributions of the members of the different committees, and to complete that. Yeah, to finish up, it's really important to take the time to do that. I want to thank all the speakers who brought the wealth of different viewpoints to the table. Some expected, others less. So it was useful. I want to thank all the international experts and the colleagues from INRA and Cirad who took part in the committees, including the Scenario Advisory Committee, which played an important role. Some of you spoke today, others perhaps weren't here or didn't speak, but all of those involved, I want to thank, and all those who took part in the workshops prior to that. On behalf of Michel Guy and our colleagues at Cirad, I thank them quite sincerely. The quality and breadth of the work is also thanks to their contribution. I also want to thank international institutions that helped develop Globe Agri, especially at the stage of data collection and development. FAO, World Food Source Institute, Princeton University, ISA, SSRO, and others I might forget. Just realize that you cannot build such a database without a network. When we thank the project team at INRA and Cirad, I know that it wasn't always easy, like Michel mentioned, but today we had a high-quality, varied audience, so it shows that people were interested. And that's the reward of the efforts made. Thank you so much for the high-quality work presented by some of you, for all of you. Thank you for your time and energy. I really think it's useful. I want to thank Cirad in particular. Marine Delattre-Casquet worked on this, and Cirad facilitated access to international partners. I want to thank the Social Sciences Department of INRA and the Expertise and Foresight Study Delegation. And made sure that in the last months, because we were running out of time, we had a deadline. We had this deadline. So Chantal Lemoine and Lady Moira spent all their time, most of their time, on this these past months. So I want to thank them from Michel Idier and me. And 4 other people were important in this adventure, quote-unquote. It couldn't have happened without their involvement. Bertrand Schmitt, and Thierry Mazelin, Pierre Fabre, who used to be with Cirad, Guillaume Marc, Agriculture Scientific Director. They made sure the process converged. I want to thank those who helped organize the practical aspect of this day.
Auprès de Bertrand Schmitt font marcher le système, donc Kim Girard, Marion Barbier et Marc-Antoine Caillot.
Kim Girard, Marion Barbier.
Effectivement, on est à la fois une salle, de quoi se restaurer.
We needed an auditorium, we needed logistics,
qui est même d'ailleurs
lunch, and all that. And it's being tweeted.
Tous ceux qui ont fait
So
cette journée a pu avoir lieu.
For those who arranged this day.
Je le transmettrai à Michel, mais
And
est présent.
Étienne Asselin, Patrick Caron,
le Haut Conseil, HLPE,
who chairs
le panel d'experts de haut niveau,
the high-level panel of
pour la
experts
sécurité alimentaire des Nations Unies. C'est bien ça, enfin, c'est à peu près ça la description.
For the food security of the UN or so.
Patrick Caron et Étienne Asselin transmettront clairement ce message à Michel Eddy.
Forward the message to Michel Eddy.
D'une manière ou d'une autre,
I also
think that ce serait bien qu'un travail de ce genre-là puisse être partagé dans un certain nombre d'instances, shared
in different places, including this, the organization you're chairing. We heard different messages. We have next steps to take. We're going to do it. Thank you. Goodbye.